Wolfgang, this is the shit. Welcome to Texas, dog. Welcome to Texas.
Our poker vlog journey has finally taken us to Texas. We've heard amazing things for years and made the trip out to Round Rock, which is 30 minutes north of Austin, to play at the Lodge Card House. It's a great vibe and there's no rakes. You pay a membership fee in the beginning and then an hourly seat fee when you cash out. I decided to see how the action is at the 1-2 table first. I know what you're thinking, 1-2 is kind of small, but I've heard stories that the games play much bigger than the stakes and I want to check it out for myself. We hop into the 1-2 game for 300. We're waiting for a 1-3 seat. We end up getting 10s all in pre versus ace king in a classic flip, and we hold for a full double, a $600 pot. We then win a small pot with ace 9 when we flop trips on a 9-9-6 flop. So the first hand of note, we look down at ace king from the small blind with 675 in our stack. Couple limps to me, I raise it to 16, the big blind and the under the gun position call. So going three ways to the flop with 52 in the pot, giving us top pair, top kicker, as Jamie Gold would say, top, king, 6-3. I make a standard lead for $15 and everybody folds. 3 for 3. 620 in our stack, we look down at ace 8 of spades. Two limps to me, I raise it up to $15. The button, the small blind, and the under the gun limper all call, so going four ways to the flop. Flop's a good one for us, gives us top again, 8-5-3. We bet $25 and the button and the small blind both call, so going three ways to the turn. Turn gives us two pair, it comes to ace of clubs. I bet $75 now, looking to get value from flush draws or pair plus straight draws or more. But both players full here, so we're just going to drag that pot. $675 in our stack, look down at King Kong from middle position. I raise to 15. Hijack and the button call, so going three ways to the flop, which comes king, 7-6, bang. We flop top set. I decide to check here to be tricky, and the hijack does as well. The button now takes the bait and bets $25, and I smooth call. Heads up to the turn with 98 in the pot comes the 7 of diamonds. We now fill up and I decide to keep the trap on here as there's only one other king left in the deck here. I want him to keep all of his bluffs in, so I decide to check again and he bets $50. Alright, the gig is up now. I put him all in for $100 more and he snap calls. Sweet. The river comes the jack of spades. I flip over our boat, he mucks, and we scoop that $398 pot. Our name finally gets called for the 1-3 game, which doesn't sound like a much bigger game than the current 1-2, but believe me, it is. It's match the stack, and there looks to be multiple 2K plus stacks on the table, so we'll take it. We cash out of the 1-2 game for $928, so a profit of $628. We have 918 in our stack when we win a hand with king queen. When we raise to 15 pre and get 4 callers, flop ends up coming king high, gets checked around. Turn is a blank, I bet 35, and we scoop. We then hear some yelling and turn around to see a crazy hand go down at the table I just left. Definitely giving us a sense of FOMO. Our vlog watching friend Caesar gets it all in pre, and they decide to run it twice. The first board he rivers trips and scoops, and the second board he flops Broadway, but then ends up losing to runner boat. Welcome to Texas.
Welcome to Texas, dog. Welcome to Texas.
After around 30 minutes of play at the 1-3 table, I realized that even though it's a bigger game, I made a mistake and I want to head back over to the 1-2. There's more action over there, and plus there's a bunch of vlog watchers, so I would definitely want to mix it up with them. I switched back over to the 1-2, but unfortunately had to chip back down to $300. We end up booking a $52 profit in that 1-3 game. Back at the 1-2, we call a few bets and hit nothing, so we end up having to rebuy in for $130. First hand of note, we look down at king queen offsuit with $290 in our stack. We're in middle position. Under the gun raises to 10, I raise it up to 30, and my left puts in the call. The button now cold shoves for $85, and even though this appears to be a strong move, I want to continue in this hand with our king queen here, but I'd prefer if it didn't go three ways, so I deduced that the player on my left who just flatted my 30 is capped in his range. He shouldn't have too many 10s plus here all that often. Meanwhile, I can have all of those hands. For that reason, I decide to reshove and isolate. Sure enough, he folds, and the button shows pocket 7s, so he's trying to use my favorite hand against me here in this pot, and we're going to go to a runout. The flop with 203 in it comes 4, 3, ace, all hearts. Turn is the king of hearts, giving us the flush, And the river is salt in the wound for the opponent. Comes the 7 of diamonds, giving him the set. Should teach him not to play pocket 7s against me in the future. We show our hand and scoop that pot. $400 in our stack. We're in the big blind with ace 10 of diamonds. There's 2 limpers. The button raises to 5 and the small blind calls. So definitely some strange passive action so far pre-flop. But we didn't fly all the way to Texas to be passive here, so I raised it up to $23. Under the gun limper, the button and the small blind all call. Going 4 ways to the flop here with 94 in the pot. Comes 10, 7, 6, giving us top pair. I bet $70 and it folds all the way around to the button. He now feels aggressive and shoves his entire $320 stack in the middle. Off first glance here, obviously not in love with this spot, but I doubt he has an overpair the way the action has gone so far. I'm putting him on some combos of 2 pair, 8-9 for the straight, and then a bunch of random hands that we have beat. But it's definitely a strange line here when he just shoves his entire stack in here. If he had a really nutted hand, at least I would have played it a little more passively and tried to get some value. 320 is definitely going to fold out a lot of hands, but it looks like he wants to put us to the test. 251 more to me. I decided to go with our hand here and call. In the short few hours I've played here in Texas, I already have learned to call down a little bit lighter, so we're going off to a runout. Turn with 734 in the pot comes a 5 of clubs. The river comes a jack of diamonds, so not the best run out for us. And unfortunately this time though, he shows 6-7 for flop 2 pair. Fortunately we couldn't hit a 2 pair and suck out on him, and he's going to drag that pot. We rebuy for 240 more and witness some of the craziest pants I've probably seen in a card room so far. Fair warning, hide your wife around this guy. $300 in our stack. We look down at ace 3 of hearts from the big blind. The straddle is on. 4 limps, I complete, looking to play a big pot with a hand that can flop well, and the straddle checks. So going off to the flop with 30 in the pot comes ace, 7, 6, 2 hearts. And when I said this hand flops well, I definitely meant it. I bet $15 here, and nobody wants to get rid of their hand. That's good news for us. We get 4 callers. 5 ways to the flop here with 105 in the pot comes the 3 of spades. As if we could hit this board harder, we now turn 2 pair to go along with our nut flush draw. Just looking to get value here from 1 pair or straight draw type hands. I bet $95. Small blind puts in the call, and that's it. So we're going heads up to the river with 295 in the pot. Comes the 10 of clubs. 8-9 now makes a straight, but altogether the 10 doesn't change too much. I decided to go for thin value here and bet $65, and sure enough he calls. So we show, he mucks, showing the ace to the table, and we're going to scoop that $425 pot. The vlog run good is real for Caesar. He wins a big pot here when he turns the king jack straight over the jack 8 straight.
Welcome to Texas, Lobo.
There you go, Caesar. Nice hand. 520 in our stack. We look down at jack 8 of clubs from under the gun. I limp. My left raises $15, the middle position, and the big blind call, and I didn't limp to fold here, so I put in the additional $13, and we're going 4 ways to the flop. 61 in the pot. The flop comes 10, 4, deuce, 1 club, and the action checks around. The turn pairs the 4. It's the 4 of spades. And with no betting on the flop, I decided to put in a $20 bet here, just looking to capitalize on the passiveness so far in this hand. The board pairing 4 shouldn't change too much, but don't tell the opponents that. The straddle and the middle position player aren't done with the hand. They put in the call. 3 raise to the river here with 121 in the pot comes a queen of spades. If the opponents were calling the turn, they most likely have a 10 at best. So for that reason, I decided to continue telling the story of a 4, and I bet $75 here. I think this bet will put pressure on the 1 pair hands and get a bunch of folds. Additionally, we can get some better hands like ace and king high to fold as well, and my left does exactly that and folds. But bad news for us, middle position now flicks in 1 chip and calls. I announce to the table that he's good, and he barely is when he shows pocket 7s for 3rd pair and scoops that $271 pot. We cashed out of this second 1-2 session for $349, so a loss of $241, but overall, over the course of these 3 mini sessions, we booked a $439 profit. So we ended up playing the 1-2 game, which plays a lot bigger here in Texas, as you saw. Then we hopped over, made a mistake, and went to the 1-3 game, and then immediately went back over to the 1-2 game. Overall, we made around $400 in those like 3 little mini sessions there. We're gonna go get some brisket and some beef rib now at Terry Black's down in Austin. Maybe see the bats, and then we're gonna hop right back into the night game. So you're gonna wanna subscribe, like this video for that. It should be coming out in the next couple days, and as always, good luck on the table. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace! Thanks for watching to the end of my video. Click my head below to subscribe and stay in the loop. See you next time.